Have you ever walked out of a listing appointment thinking that you absolutely nailed it, only to find out that the seller went with somebody else? Well, you followed the script, you had the marketing plan, even brought the fancy folder, but you still lost. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And I'm here to tell you the real reason why you're not getting listings isn't what you think. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 mistakes that cost agents 6 figures a year and how you can fix them. And I'll share stories from my own career, the hidden factors that keep agents stuck, and the exact mindset and routines that took me from losing listing after listing to closing 90% of my appointments. I'm Jeff Quintin, and after 30 plus years as a top 1% real estate producer, I've seen it all. Early in my career, I lost listing after listing, even when I did what all the experts said. I was following the scripts, running the ads, and still coming up short. It wasn't until I got brutally honest with myself that everything changed. Today, I close about 90% of my listing appointments, and I coach agents nationwide to do the same. But it's not because I have a magic script or the best marketing. It's because I finally understood what really moves the needle. And I want to help you do the same. More marketing does not equal more listings. I see agents spending thousands of dollars on postcards, Facebook ads, fancy videos, hoping that they just do more, that they'll win. But here's the truth. Sellers really don't care about your marketing as much as you think. They care about confidence, trust, and whether you can solve their problem. I remember a time when I was spending a fortune on glossy brochures and digital ads, and I thought I just looked, more impressive, that I would maybe win the listings. But I kept losing to agents who barely even had a website. Why? Because they connected with the seller. They listened, they showed up as the expert, not just another agent with a marketing plan. I want you to remember this. Connection beats collateral every time. Mistake number 1, talking too much, listening too little. Most agents walk in and launch into their pitch. I used to do the same thing. But sellers want to be heard. The best listing appointments are 70% listening and 30% talking. Here's what I do now. I start every appointment by asking the seller about their motivation, their fears, their timeline. I let them talk. I take notes. I repeat back what I hear so they know that I'm listening. The more you listen, the more they trust you. I once had a seller tell me, "You're the first agent who actually listened to what I wanted." That's how you win listings. Let me give you a real example. I met with a couple who had interviewed 3 agents before me. The first 2 spent the entire time talking about themselves, about their marketing. I spent the first 30 minutes just asking questions and listening. At the end, they said, "We want to work with you. We want to work with you because you actually care about our goals." That's the difference. Mistake number 2, relying on fancy marketing over connection. I used to bring in a 30-page marketing book. Guess what? Sellers barely even looked at it. They want to know if you understand their needs and can solve their problem. Now I bring a simple 1-page plan and spend more time on connecting with them than presenting. I ask, "What's important to you about the move?" I share stories of how I've helped other similar clients. I show them that I care about them and care about their outcome, not just the commission. One time I lost a listing to an agent, with a flashier presentation. A month later, the seller called me back. Their home hadn't sold. And they said, "Hey, I realized the other agent never really listened." I got the listing 2 weeks later. And guess what? Earned a client for life. Mistake number 3, avoiding tough questions. Are you afraid to talk about price, commissions, right? Or their last bad experience? I was. But the agents who win listings are the ones who lean into the tough conversations. I ask, what's your biggest fear about selling? Have you worked with an agent before? How did it go? What's your bottom line? Be direct, be honest, and show them that you're not afraid to address the elephant in the room. I once had a seller tell me, "You're not the only agent who was honest about the challenges. That's how you build trust." Here's a tip. If you sense hesitation, call it out. "I sense you're worried about the price. Let's talk about it." That level of honesty is very rare and powerful. Mistake number 4, weak follow-up. Most agents leave the appointment and hope for the call. I used to do that too. Now I follow up with a handwritten note, call, and a value add, like a custom market update. Here's my follow-up sequence. a handwritten note, a thank you note within 24 hours, a follow-up call to answer any questions, an email with a market update or resource, another call a week later to check in. That personal touch wins the listings, even if you weren't their first choice. I've had sellers call me back a week later and say, "You were the only agent who actually stayed in touch." I once followed up with a seller for 3 months before they actually finally listed with me. See, persistence pays off. Mistake number 5, not owning the close. Are you asking for the business or just hoping they pick you? I used to be afraid to close. Now I say, based on everything we've discussed, I believe I'm the right agent to help you. Are you comfortable moving forward with me? You have to own the close. If you don't ask, you don't get. I've seen agents lose listings because they never actually asked for the business. Don't be afraid to close. Sellers respect confidence. Here's a story. I once lost a listing because I didn't ask for the business. The seller told me, "Hey, we liked you, but the other agent just asked us to sign." That was a lesson I'll never forget. Here's what I do now and what I teach my coaching clients. Number 1, prepare with research and mindset. Number 2, listen first, talk second. Number 3, address the tough topics head on. Number 4, follow up with a personal touch. Number 5, ask for the business confidently. This framework took my close rate from 30% to over 90%. I've seen agents double their listings in a year just by fixing these 5 mistakes. If you want to see real change, start with these steps. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present, being honest, and being relentless in your follow-up. I had a client, her name was Sarah. She was losing every listing, almost every appointment. We worked this together. We fixed her approach, and within 6 months, she was actually closing 80% of her appointments. She told me, "Jeff, I stopped trying to impress and start trying to connect." And that was the difference. If you want my full listing appointment system, check out my free training at JeffQuintin.com. Drop your biggest listing challenge in the comments, hit like and subscribe for more real strategies that actually work. And if you want to see more behind the scenes stories and real agent transformations, let me know what topic you want next.